Weather-wise this year, we're looking at what's reported as the second worst drought in recorded history. In terms of an extended drought like this on the ecosystem as a whole, so it has a compound effect on a multitude of species and organisms and habitat types because the way it's all chained and linked together. So you don't get moisture, you don't get vegetation growth, you don't get insects, you don't get seed production, you don't get the animals that feed on those species don't have the nutrition that they need. They're not as reproductive. The predators that rely on those species therefore have a lack of food. So there's a domino effect that goes out in however many more branches than you could probably actually keep count of. If it's something like quail, they're very resilient as long as they have that nesting cover that they need. They build their nest in grass that was grown the previous year. So we haven't put any grass growth on this year. So it could, based on the situation, grazing situation, there may or may not be that nesting cover available. So that could actually have another impact next year in 2012 in our production in quail because they don't have the place to build that nest. There'll be a lag effect when it comes to the top end predators, the coyotes, hawks at the top end of the food chain. From a deer standpoint, and antelope will have low phone crops this year. That'll have an impact on our hunters in 4 to 5, 6 years as those bucks reach maturity. When they peak in antler growth, we'll notice a gap in that age class. So it goes several years in several directions. I'd say we're seeing a concentration of those animals wherever there's water sources. What we're going to see in almost all the wildlife this year is a decrease in reproduction. And that'll be true for our fawn crops and deer and antelope. It's true for our quail chicks, turkey poults. So if it's true for all those, then you have to start thinking, well, how many species are there out there? Hundreds of species of all types of mammals, small mammals, birds, and all they're going to be affected and whose reproductive numbers will be down.